Now that no one else is around, being stuck in this situation, ask God, what must I do? Silence. No voice. There's no solution. So now that I'm not getting answers, I have to kick up my brain and kickstart it up and start looking at my options. But this difficult situation has left me with none. It's not like I can choose a solution and see which one will work. I have none. Not even a choice. If only there was a friend I could call and, he could just come out and pull out a quick fix, but I'm sure that they'll all tell me how busy they are. Have you ever thought like this, what I've just read? Now, it could be as simple, I'm supposed to be there on an appointment, but I'm stuck here, and my way to get there has let me down again. Or it could be I need food for me and my family, but I'm looking at the amount I have, and the total cash that I have is zero. You might even be in a situation where you've done wrong. You've messed up a friendship, and the only opportunity to fix it was to say something simple like, I'm sorry. But instead, you did the complete opposite, and now that way after that has happened, you're wishing you could go back and avoid that situation you're in. For anyone who understands, Command Z, undo what you've done. Maybe you stole something. Maybe you cheated. You got caught. Now what? And there you are, stranded by yourself with no one to help or support. I thought like this. And guess what? I asked God. I said, Lord, I'm really not sure what I should do next. Please help me out on this. And every time in the most oddest or the way that I didn't expect, he's always answered me. You know who else would have felt like this? In fact, it would have been worse. Abraham's faith is tested. Sometime later, God tested Abraham's faith. Abraham, God called. Yes, he replied, here I am. Take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you love so much, and go to the land of Moriah. Go and sacrifice him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains which I'll show you. Sometime later after what? Abraham just got his boy. Something after waiting like 100 years, Abraham's faith had already been tested, and finally he had his answer to prayer, Isaac, his only son. Take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you love so much, and sacrifice him. God asked Abraham to do what you probably would have thought was a joke. Like, yeah, Lord, imagine that, eh? Nice try, eh? But Abraham had just waited, and now he has to give it away. But think about the fact that it wasn't like a phone that you've asked for or a car that you've just received. I mean, yes, a car you can love, a phone you can love, but not like a son. No father can describe how hard it would have been to hear God ask Abraham to sacrifice his little boy. And I realized the emphasis on your only son. Yes, Isaac, whom you love so much. Now, I have two sons. Most of you already know them, Joshua and Caleb. Imagine me having to take an axe and chop them to death. I have a choice. Should I rebel or should I obey? Which I will show you. At this point, we often have made the decision to rebel against God. Like, no ways, I can't do that. But guess what? Not Abraham. And I don't think that Abraham thought he would have to go through the slaughter. When his son asked, Dad, what will we be sacrificing? Abraham said, don't worry about that. The Lord will provide. And of course, we all know how it ends. Abraham continues into the unknown, not making sense of whether he should go all the way up the mountain. The Bible doesn't tell us how far they traveled, but they kept going, not knowing where they would be going. It could be days, could be weeks, could be months. And Abraham's faith took him strong all the way to picking up the knife. And as he was about to thrust it, an angel of the Lord shouted, Abraham, stop! Now when I read this, I hear the urgency of a father, desperate. It sounded like God had more love for this boy. Amazing, isn't it? Abraham's trust. So ask yourself, do I trust God to this extent? Because you can trust God, just as Abraham did, even with his son's life.